All right, thank you, Tara. Jacksonville City Council has taken up a controversial bill with an anti-discrimination bill. It would add sexual orientation to the city's anti-discrimination law already in place. With this and the renewed debate over same-sex marriage across the country, we're joined this morning by Dr. Raymond Johnson from Dr. Raymond Johnson II from Biblical Concepts Ministries. Thanks for stopping by this morning. First of all, what is it that your company or your organization does?
Well, Biblical Concepts Ministries teaches biblical concepts of government and constitutional principles of government in churches and civic groups across the country.
So this anti-discrimination bill that's being introduced right now, what does it mean? And for those of us out there, why should we be impacted or why should we care?
Well, 5 points I want to make very briefly of why we don't support the bill, and this will cover most of what you're asking. Number one, obviously as a Christian, it's against the Christian faith from a biblical worldview. Number two, you got to realize that God will bless or curse this country and this city based on our laws and public policy. Now, number three, to get into the meat of it, this bill provides special rights and special class for a very small minority of people according to a lifestyle that they choose to live. Now, number four, briefly, on page page 8 here on this bill, which is right here, page 8, line 8, it strikes the words within the Constitution of the United States. So the question is our U.S. Constitution and our state Constitution not adequate enough? And finally, of course, I would like to say, ask what is the definition of sexual expression? You find that in the 6 words added. So does sexual expression, where does that end, and where does that go?
So I'm guessing when the president comes out last week and says that he's in support of gay marriage, that you're against that as well. Absolutely. And why is it, do you think that people have the right to be happy, be able to marry just like men and women do?
In America, we live by a constitutional republic. We have a constitution to follow. If you want to live that lifestyle, you're free to do that in America. However, you cannot impose, your personal view for something that's not accepted, on other people. And marriage is defined as one man and one woman. 33 states have passed those laws, so that's where we're at.
And Mayor Bloomberg from New York City was actually speaking at North Carolina in a commencement address and said this is a step back in basic civil rights. What do you say to that?
Absolutely not. In fact, this is actually, it's called an anti-discrimination bill. It's really discriminating against the majority of people. At what point do we take my individual liberty and my religious liberty to satisfy a very small population of first people?
So what is the next step for you guys, for Biblical Concept Ministries? What are you going to do? Are you going to fight this anti-discrimination law?
Absolutely, of course, myself personally, but what my ministry is doing is reaching out to pastors and congregations in the city and letting them know what's going on and getting the information and letting them know, hey, we need to stand up for what's right, and calling them to contact council members and attend council meetings and make sure that we do what's right.
All right, Raymond Johnson from from Biblical Concept Ministries. Thank you. I should mention we reached out to folks in support of the anti-discrimination bill and to those who support gay marriage. They were unable to make our show today, but we'll certainly continue to cover that side of the story as well. We want to hear your thoughts on this topic. Give us a viewer voicemail line, a call, 996-0453. Send us your comments on Facebook or at fox30jax.com. We will play those comments at the end of the hour.